Come on. Yeah. Well, hello there. Hi, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. What does George have to say? Huh? 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 The big sleepy boy. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, I think. Yes. I know. Okay, you can go over here. Okay. Hi. Sorry. He did that thing where he like sat right under me because he thinks that 2 p.m., which the time it is now in Vancouver, he thinks that that is food time, but it is not. And it never has been. But he's going to try every day. So I appreciate and I admire his determination and his tenacity to keep going. But yeah, I'm just not going to feed him. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, having a good Tuesday. Let's see who's here, or who was here right at the beginning. Shabam. Hello. Hesa. Hi, Hesa. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Frank. Anakin. Robert. Sergio. Hi, Carly. Hi, Lori. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Jordan. Whirlkip. Hello. Oh man, these names are so hard to pronounce. Eric, hello. Mohammed, hello. Adam, hello. Anastasia and Thad. And Amy is here. Keep going. Hi, Jamie. Danny, hello. Alynn, hello. Friedrich, hello. Amy, hello. Hello, Shannan. Sveta, hi. Victoire, hello. Claire, hello. Super Shay, hello. Amira, hi Amira. Keep going, keep going. Issy, hello. Hello, Grace. Did I already say hello? But hi. Hi again. Hi, Jill. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Rookie. I apologize if I miss anyone. Just still scrolling. And Grace, hi Grace. I don't know if I said hi Grace or whatever. Now I can't even like keep track of who I've said hello to. Focus Productions, hello. Class, hello. Strawberry. Sunshine Strawberry. I almost said it the other way. Chidu, hello. Andrew, hello. Manoy, hello. Starla. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of people. I apologize. Andrew. Andy, hi. Welcome. Look at all these new faces. Look at all these new people. Marco, hello. I apologize if I miss anybody. It's scroll. There's so many names. Anyway, I appreciate you all being here. It is so nice to see you. It's Aveya. Struggling so much to do an aerial. You just got to keep going. Just don't put your hands down. Anyway, thank you. Welcome. And thank you for joining the Badass family. We're just growing. Every day it's growing and it's exciting. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Michelle. I've been doing a live staff spinning class pretty much every day of the entire global pandemic. So we started in March. Hi, Adam. And today's day 148. So there's 148 live streams that you can go back and watch in full and watch my entire mental health journey through this whole thing. So I hope you enjoy that. So what we're doing today is we started a combo yesterday. Yesterday's Monday. So we started a combo yesterday using the skill that we practiced all last week. So if you've missed any of the tutorials I've done in the last week or so, just feel free to go back to the live stream class playlist on my YouTube and rewatch all of those. So the skill that we added into our new combo, we started this brand new combo yesterday, we worked on all last week. And that's sort of the format that we do is we'll take a week, we'll work on a skill, and then the next week we'll add it into a combo. So that's where we're at right now. Like I said, if you've missed any, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you have to keep up. Just be where you're at, wherever that may be. That's perfect. And then just know that you can go back to the live stream playlists and rewatch them, rewind them as much as you want. You can slow them down. You can do all of that. So feel free to do that. We'll do our combo today. I'm going to add on one little skill, just adding one skill. And you don't even need to know the rest of the combo to do the skill. So that's the good thing about it, is you could literally just join in for this one skill and then go about your way. Anyway, we'll do a couple questions at the end. Please yell at me at 30 minutes. We're going to try and be done at 30 minutes. We do not need to talk for 47 minutes. Yeah, I'm sure you have other things you need to be doing. So anyway, keep that in mind. And yeah, we're just gonna get started. All right, so here's what we've done so far. So last week, like I said, we worked on this half diamond layout. We broke it down into pieces. We offered a beginner version of that. And then yesterday, we added a high-low whip before we get into it so that we can enter into it from a flow and from a combo. So our whole point is to do the skills and then put them into a context of a flow. So do I need to use a shorter staff? No, you can use as long of a staff as you want. I'm just using this because it's my favorite length, and also I'm in my house. Already breaking too many things. Okay, so here's where we're gonna go with this. So I gave you two options yesterday. We did high-low whip, which there is a tutorial for on my YouTube. So feel free to go check that out. We do option 1. This is your beginner version. Half neck roll, step through, bring it over, take it out. So that's the beginner version. You could have just touched a staff 30 seconds ago and you would be able to do that. So go back to that video either last Monday or yesterday, and there'll be a breakdown for that. And then the full skill from your high-low whip is the full roll. So this is where we end. I'm just going to turn around and face you. So basically you end in your left hand with your arm extended. Now, because this last half of your roll it's slow, so it's actually going to give you an opportunity to do a variety of different things. And then it's just up to you to choose the path that you want the staff to go on. We're going to choose today to do a direction change. So meaning that as this staff finishes moving, it's in a forward direction. We're going to use the catch and the snap of your hand closing as our invisible stop sign. And then we're going to choose to go the opposite direction, okay? It's not even a direction change. I use this skill as a direction change. It's called the TikTok. We've practiced it a couple times. And that's funny because we're live on TikTok. So it is a pattern change skill, but it doesn't necessarily have to change direction. So that's what we're going to learn today. You need a trumpet? I absolutely do not. No, thank you. Anyway, so regardless if you've learned the first half of this combo, doesn't matter. It's preferable that you catch it lower on the staff. However, if you catch it towards the middle, you are still going to be able to do this skill, so don't worry about that. What you want is to have your arm extended. So remember when we're doing the last half of these long arm skills is you're reaching away to catch. It's that counterintuitive thing. So I should have my arm fairly extended. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to take my thumb. As soon as I catch it, I'm just going to get myself in the frame here. As soon as I catch it, I'm just going to very subtly take my thumb to the back of my staff just so that I can create a little bit more space for this skill. So I'm extended, and then all I'm going to do is I want to make sure that my staff stays behind me the whole time. So I don't want this to come up in front of my body. I catch, and then right here, everything's moving behind me. So if you can see, everything's moving behind me. So just do a double check, move it around, make sure that it's not going to hit you in the front. Okay, so then all I'm going to do from here is I extend. I'm going to lift my wrist and turn my palm down. So I'm holding onto it, and then I'm just turning so my fingers are pointing down. And then I'm just going to drop this top end. So this is why I said it's going to be a little bit better if you're closer to the end of the staff, because that makes your top end a little bit heavier, and that's what we want. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to lift your wrist, let the bottom end drop down, and then if you do that with a little bit of energy, this swing through that this top end is doing is going to be enough to send it over to the other side. So you're just creating a little bit of energy and inertia from your staff as it's already moving. So you finish your roll, pick your wrist up. So I'm just going to get into the frame. Pick your wrist up, drop this top end down. So you want to think like a pendulum. That top end is coming down and it's swinging through. You're going to let go right here as sort of you reach your max range of motion. So hold on to that top end as long as possible. I let go. It's going to come through, and then I'm going to stick my left hand, or it's not, gosh, I don't know what. I haven't had lunch, that's why. This is your right hand. I know it looks like my left, but it is actually my right. You're going to stick that down here. Just going to drop the screen there. In your backhand position. So basically, my palm is facing the back, fingers are loose, and I'm just going to leave my hand here with the straight elbow, and my staff is pretty much just going to fly into this hand. I'm not going to move it too much. So I'm not going to try and reach with a bent elbow because you're never going to catch it like that. You're going to drop it almost every time if you start doing this. Okay? Same thing with the release. You want to be releasing with the straight arm. If you start trying to cheat it, I know it feels like you need to do this, but you absolutely do not. Trust me, I've been doing this a while. If you do this, you're never going to have a consistent release. It's going to be different every single time. So then it's going to be harder to catch. Same thing with this. You're never going to put your hand in the same consistent place. You're not going to get accurate data when you do drop it, because you will drop it, if things are just moving all over. So we're just going to try and eliminate as many variables as possible, and then that's how you're going to get more consistent catching. So I'm going to release with the straight arm. I'm just going to think about pointing that top end down as I lift my wrist up, and then I'm catching with the straight elbow, and I'm only going to be able to move it about this much, and that's what's going to get it to this other hand. It's very similar to a rocket, but it is not quite a rocket, because a rocket comes from the top here, and you're coming from a figure eight, whereas this one is coming from a break, and then you're using the pendulum of that top end to swing through. So they are very similar, but they are different skills, and I implore you to treat them as such. Just treat them as two different things, even though they travel in the same plane and look fairly similar. They're actually quite different. So it's just two extra skills. So if you've been practicing your rocket a lot, which is this skill, this TikTok skill should be actually fairly simple, because the rocket's actually a little bit harder. So that's a good thing. So all together, what's going to happen is you're going to start in your right hand. You start with your high whip, low whip. You do your counter circle. I want to say Minty. Hi, Minty. I saw your video. I saw your little counter circle. It was very good. I wanted to tell you that in person. So then you do your roll. I end with my arm extended here. And then as soon as it's snapping into my hand, I'm taking that thumb to the back, dropping that top end, and getting into the TikTok. That's it. That's all we're going to add today. So simple. So remember that you have to be patient to allow the roll to finish. Let it come to its ending. Let it come to its own completion before you pull out your TikTok out of it. If you try and rush it, what's going to happen is you're going to end up doing this. And then you're not going to be in the right position to do your TikTok. You're going to be at the wrong place of your staff. Your arm's going to be in the wrong position, and then it's going to get a lot harder. So be patient. I would really be happy to see right now, as I see your videos on Instagram, is you do the full skill. You do your roll. I would rather see a small pause here as you finish the roll and then go into your TikTok. Eventually, you can sort of eliminate that small pause as you start getting the rhythm of the end of the roll. But if you try and do them too close together right now, it's just going to get a little bit like smushy, and everything's going to be here, when what we want is to take up space and make it an extended roll, because it's called that exit is like a layout. It's called a layout for a reason. It's going out, or a long arm roll. It's going out. Okay, so I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm sorry if I can't stay in the frame the whole time. Just, there's this, then there's that, then there's this. I'm looking for a space where I can live and do my thing. Can somebody please buy me a mansion? Thank you. All right, so you do high-low whip, you do your roll, you extend, you TikTok. I'm going to do it again because that was a shitty roll. You go here, counter to here, wait, TikTok. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Like we've talked about many times on these live streams. And if you're just joining in, whether on YouTube or TikTok, is all of these live streams. I've done 148 of them. They're all available for you to go back and watch. So don't feel like you've missed anything. Just go to my YouTube and find the live stream class playlist and you'll be able to find them all. But what we've talked about a lot is the way you practice these skills is you do them individually. So in this case, we have 3 different skills in this combo. We have a high-low whip, we have the layout roll, which is like the combination of like 6 different skills, and then we have the tick-tock. So you're gonna do each piece of the puzzle a bunch of times on its own before you really even need to worry about trying to put it all together. It's good to try and do it, but if you really just need like a really efficient practice, just pick a skill, do it 30 times, and then move on. And it's a numbers game. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. If you've only done it 3 times and you've caught it 0 out of 3 times, and then you're like, I can't do it. Well, chances are I'm gonna tell you, just do it again. And I'm gonna keep telling you to do it again until you've done it upwards of 1,000 times. And then if you've done it like 2,000-3,000 times and it's still not working, then we can talk. But a lot of times with these skills, it's just about fine-tuning little details. It's all about mechanics. It's all about physics. So if you can just sort of understand how the staff moves, then it's going to be much easier for you. And just know, drop it. Drop your stick. Drop your stick on the floor. You can yell at it. You can give it the finger, whatever you need to do. But just know that dropping is part of the process. It is part of practicing. You're never going to get better unless you drop it. So just drop your stick. And like we've already talked about, you dropping your staff is not going to be the reason the world explodes. Even in 2020, it's not going to be us, okay? So just get that out of your heads now. Drop your fucking stick and have a good time doing it. And when you drop it, you pick it up and you do it again. That's it. That is the practice. That is the metaphor for life in this whole wonderful thing. If you want to go to my YouTube, if you're on TikTok, the link is literally in my bio. It's Michelle Krista Smith on YouTube. But if you just go literally into my bio and click, it goes directly to my YouTube. So do that. All right, let's do some questions. There's one right here from class. Question. I'm on the half of the talent code and it's obvious where you get your training methods from. How was your training as a kid? Talent code 2 or pressure and pain? Actually, so we're talking about a book called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. It's one of my favorite books. I highly recommend it, especially if you're wanting to learn how to do skill-based movement like this, or any martial art or any dance or anything that's like a skill. Go find that book. But actually, what I realized when reading that book is how my training as a kid really sort of followed the principles that he laid out. I think it wasn't a conscious thing on my coach's part, because literally our coaches are just sort of passing down the way that they were coached back when I was a kid. But I think the inherent nature of what this is, because I've been doing this since I was a kid, is because so much of it is precision based. And especially when you get to those higher levels, like the adjustments you are making are so subtle that that sort of repetitive breaking things down into chunks and doing the chunking method, that was something that was just sort of necessary in order for us to get to that higher level. So we actually did do something very similar to what he talks about in the book, about like chunking and focused practice, and where he's talking about where there's pockets in the world where, like, somewhere in South America, there's like this pocket in the world where people are amazing at soccer is because of the way that they're brought up, and the little like details that they add to their practice makes them good. And then you have these pockets of people where everybody's really good. That was what it was sort of like where I was at, where there was like a bunch of us, well, not a bunch of us, there was 3 of us, and we used each other to get better, even though we were like direct competitors. But yeah, we had this little pocket where like we had 3 little baton twirlers that were the best in the world. So yeah, very similar. I ranted. Whew. Anyway, good question. Okay, Anthony and his deep thoughts. I watched your talk on being fearless and a badass at the One Woman concert. So I did a talk a year, a bit ago, 2 years. Ooh, I don't know. Can you explain the power in valuability or vulnerability, do you mean? I think it's vulnerability, because that's one of the points I have in my talk. And I say that everyone's a badass, and that there are basically 3 elements to being a badass. I don't know if I can remember them off the top of my head. I should, because it's like my signature talk. But one of them is vulnerability, and I think that being vulnerable and being authentic to yourself is what makes you a badass, which is why we're all inherently badass. Is we all have this power to be ourselves, and when we are ourselves, we are very powerful, because we each have a unique perspective on the world. And you don't have to be a superhero to be a badass. You are a badass. And so what I found over my life is when I have authentically shared my story and my thoughts and my feelings and what I'm going through without judging them, I am able to reach and share more people with more people. And there's power in that, because we're in a world that we create, like social media, we create these facades of perfection in our lives. And even my Instagram, it's just a bunch of fancy videos. I'm not posting the picture of me when I wake up in the morning. It pretty much looks like this, because I didn't do much to do this. But I think as we're sort of being curated in all facets of our lives based on the way that we live now, to have somebody step forward and be like, this is authentically me, it takes a lot of courage. And to do that and have that courage, it's vulnerable, because there's a chance that people are going to come back at you and say things. Like anytime you post a video on the internet, it's a vulnerable act, because you're opening yourself up to feedback of all kinds. But if you can sort of step past that and just do it because this is what you do, this is what you love, and this is who you are, then there's power in that, because it takes courage, and you are so much more present and stable and grounded in yourself, and that makes you so much more open and available and attractive and vibrating at a higher frequency. That's what I mean about the power in it. That's what I want. And if we all had the courage and the will to express ourselves a little bit more, I think that we would all be actually much happier people and a much happier society in general. So yeah, I don't know if that was a great answer, but anyway. Somebody says, can you repeat the name of the book? Yes, it's called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. All right, Jill has a question. You've talked about how getting older has affected you in your sport. How do you decide when to push through and when to let it go? I think that's a result of a lot of personal work and evolution, and being really honest with myself. There are things in my head that, my ego, that part of me that likes to show off and perform, that is just oh, I'm going to do that, and I can do this, and why aren't you hiring me for Star Wars? Because I can do that, blah, 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 blah. But then when it really comes down to it, it's that's not actually going to make me happy. It's actually probably going to hurt. And so, for instance, really pushing into the stunt game more after I've already spent over a decade being a stunt performer. But there's I could work on this feature, I could work on that feature, I could double this actor, but at the end of it, I'm just going to get injured, and it's not actually making me happy. It's not what I enjoy doing anymore. So there's a piece of it of just the reality of getting older, of oh, my body doesn't feel the same as it used to when I was a kid. It doesn't move the same. It doesn't heal the same. It takes me longer to warm up. It takes me longer to recover from things. So there's that practicality that I have to take into account when I'm doing things. But then there's also just, are you really still into it? Are you really really passionate about it, that you want to spend time in that? And then you just sort of find the middle ground of that. And I think that really helps release things that are no longer part of you. But it's not an easy process, because there are bits of your ego and your identity attached to these things as you let go. And so you just have to know that you're like good no matter what, even if you feel like you're letting a piece of you go. And then sometimes I think you just know when it's time to be done. Like there's that. But yeah. Okay, more questions. I see something here. I have a big problem finding the center of balance on the staff. I don't even think you really need to be, like, it's good to know where center is. Maybe it would be helpful for you to put a piece of tape right on center so you know, you can see where center is. But yeah, it's something that I feel out. I don't necessarily like talk about, when I get a new tool, I don't find the center of balance for it. I just inherently know, but maybe a visual guide will help you so that you at least know if your hand's not on that center point, then you at least know how far off you are. Might be something to try. Okay, I saw another question before. Rookie says, so TikTok is tossed lower than a rocket. I kind of treat them at the same tossing height. Yes, the thing with TikTok is it's starting from a lower position and you're raising it to toss, and you don't really need to bring your arm past 90 to release it. Mine just sort of floats up just because of the movement, and a rocket, you're starting from the top and the staff is going down, whereas a TikTok sort of stays waist level and travels on that longer line, even though they're traveling in the same plane. Hi, Deranged Lunatic. I didn't say hello. All right. Anthony says, how close do you think you are to being on TED Talk? I could do a TED Talk now. Actually, all those TEDx events, I do have a publisher and a business coach that could get me in to it. And actually, I've always really wanted to do public speaking as a career. I've done a bunch of it just sort of like I'm doing it now. Just as like I'm starting that. But I have to rewrite my talks. I want to create a longer one. But yeah, I could essentially do it now. And sort of before all the film stuff started coming back up, I was just like, oh, because I thought that version of my life was a little bit farther down the line, and it's becoming very evident that it's creeping up a little bit sooner. So probably sooner than later, my friend. I'll be there. The big TED Talk, so I don't know what they're doing with it right now as far as global pandemic, but those ones, I think you have to have a couple TEDx's under your belt before they'll take you there. But I could definitely do TEDx. Grace says, Michelle, Native American spiritualist here, but could you go into a little into the spiritual beliefs that you sometimes accidentally touch upon in these live streams? I don't even know where to start. It's a very big topic, and it's like I've said, the spirituality. There's a spirituality to staff spinning that I'm not quite ready to really dive into fully, mostly because I'm still going through it and I'm still interpreting it. But essentially what you're tracing with your staff are these infinite circles, which is what our universe is made up of. It's all these like little circles and lines, and in the grid of the universe, that's what we're tracing. And so there's that aspect, the whole sacred geometry to this. And just, I don't know, it's hard to really go in, because like I've done a good deal of spiritual work myself, having grown up as like pretty much an atheist child, but that was like interested in the mysteries of the universe. But yeah, I think that it's a big topic. Like, I don't even know where to start. And we don't have time. I have literally 30 seconds. Okay. Danielle says, how do you get shadow banned? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm shadow banned, but my TikTok views have tanked. I had the last video I put up was sitting at like 5,000 views, which I know for a lot of people is a lot, but like considering how many followers I have and what I was used to getting, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm not using the TikTok algorithm correctly. I know that they want to do the trendy things, and I've tried a few times. It's still not working. I'm posting at the right time, still not working. I don't know what the fuck is going on with TikTok. And like, people aren't seeing my videos anymore, and I don't know why. They're not showing up. So I just don't know what's going on with the TikTok. Okay, we're gonna end it here. Claire says, you talked last week, you said you'd like to learn swing dancing if you could find a partner who could both lead and follow. You don't need one full-time partner. Most dancers just dance socially and switch partners every song. You should totally learn both and dance with everyone. I could. Just, they need to interact with more people. And it's just, I'm really good at not interacting with people this close to me. Klaus says, one word to creative combat class, please. When will it be and when will it start? See, that's a class that I'm sort of putting on hold for this COVID thing, because we need multiple people, and because it is fight choreography and film fighting, we need people, and it's really, really hard to do without a dance partner. Like, it would be really hard for me to teach it here with nobody around me, and then you trying to do it on your own. Like, it's basically fight choreography with like the staff skills that we're using. So essentially we're kind of already doing it with the combos that we make. But I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Anyway, okay, we're gonna stop here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your awesome questions and comments and feedback and all of that support that you offer me every single day. I really love it, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm just so privileged and grateful to be able to share these skills with you. My next online group class is going to be end of September. I probably should start setting that up now. End of September, early October. It'll run for 4 weeks. But in the meantime, there are tons of tutorials on YouTube. There's a bunch of stuff on Instagram. There's my free course at badassacademy.online. And then there's also the Online Badass Academy, which is my online training platform. So if you don't want to come and train with us on Zoom, you can just train on your own in the Online Badass Academy. All those links are in my bio. Just click on things, buy some merch, do that, join the Discord. The link should be down there somewhere. But yeah, aside from that, that's where we're going to stop today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to add on to that same combo. So yeah, keep tagging me in all your videos. I want to see them. I love seeing them. So thank you so much. I really do love you all. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening or night, wherever you are in the world. So thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, bye.